Hi, this is Alessio, Rastani, leading trader. Hope you're well, and welcome to this new update on Bitcoin. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do is make a prediction about Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to guess that most of you will probably like this prediction, and probably a few of you may not like this prediction. All right, guys. Now, before I go on to that, first of all, I have a question for you. Who do you think was buying Bitcoin at these levels? Who was buying Bitcoin at 20,000? Was it the dumb money or the smart money? And if you said dumb money, well done. Absolutely correct. The dumb money is buying Bitcoin at 19, 20,000, not smart money. So when do you think the smart money is buying Bitcoin? They're buying it now. When I say dumb money, who are we talking about? I'm talking about people you know. People who act on emotion before they think. In other words, people who don't have any regard for logical thought, but instead act on pure emotion and hype. In other words, I'm talking about the uninformed crowd. But you as a professional investor and trader, you, of course, have to do the opposite of the dumb money. All right, that's the most important thing we have to learn, which is whereas the dumb money are all getting excited and buying these highs, these peaks here. And of course, if you remember, we were warning folks back at the time that it's a very dangerous time, a very dangerous period to buy Bitcoin at those high prices. And instead we said, look, wait for it to drop back to reality. Also, let's not forget that the interest in Bitcoin, public opinion and interest has dropped, has collapsed since December, which again, by the way, is a contrarian signal. It's a bullish signal. It's a good signal for Bitcoin. Now, here's the thing. Bitcoin has dropped from its peak, from its highs. So from those highs just near 20,000 to these lows just under 6,000. That's a 70%. That is a 70% drop. An incredible drop in Bitcoin prices. Okay? And here's the thing. Right about these levels, and I mentioned in the previous video that this is a key level to watch, the 200 moving average from which you can see the prices have bounced from. This is where the smart money gets interested and where they start buying. As a matter of fact, don't forget, the smart money also buys the 100 MA as well. We did see an initial bounce off the 100 moving average. As you can see, it did bounce twice, but the selling pressure, and again, the supply overcame demand to such an extent. And again, sellers had control. They pushed it down lower to the 200 moving average. So here's the thing. This level you see here, this 200 moving average, this low we made recently, just last week, this is a level which buyers have to protect. Okay? And we need to see that buyers are going to hold this level if we're going to continue to remain bullish on Bitcoin. Actually, I think that it's very likely that this level is going to hold. But actually, I want to show you another thing as well. If I just change this time frame to the weekly time frame, take a look at this. This is a weekly chart of Bitcoin. So all I've done is just change the time frame. Now take a look at this. Notice the pattern that's forming here on Bitcoin on this weekly chart. You can see that Bitcoin has dropped to this 55 weekly average. That's the purple line you see on my chart. That's a 55 moving average on a weekly chart. And you can see that Bitcoin is forming this sort of, if I just bring this closer, I think you'll agree that this certainly looks like a hammer candlestick. And by the way, if some of you are probably saying to yourself, a hammer what? Okay, let me explain that. What's a hammer candlestick bar and what does it mean? Let me show you this. According to technical analysis or chart analysis, chartists believe that a hammer price bar that you see looks like that has a special meaning. And by the way, what we're looking at here is something called Japanese candlestick patterns. Some of you probably heard about it. Of course, there's many books on it as well. But here's the thing. I don't really care about all the other patterns that are out there, but this particular pattern I do pay attention to. It's a very important pattern. Let me explain what it means. When you see prices, and by the way, this is a chart of Bitcoin that formed about a couple of years ago. When you see prices drop like this, and when they reach a support level, like for example, a couple of years ago, Bitcoin prices dropped and they fell down to the weekly 200 moving average, the green line you see on my chart. And then they formed this very peculiar looking candle bar, this price bar. You can see it certainly looks like a hammer. All right. A mallet, as you can see right there. And that's the kind of bar you see right there. Now, what is the meaning of that candlestick? What is the meaning of that pattern, especially when it forms a support level? Okay, let's read over here. This is from stockcharts.com. Let's read this together. It says, after a decline, the hammer's intraday low indicates that selling pressure remains. However, the strong close shows that buyers are starting to become active again. further strength is required to provide bullish confirmation of this reversal pattern. So, by the way, that's another key word here, reversal pattern. So what this means is this. When prices drop, like so, or indeed like so, you can see when prices drop and they hit a support level, okay, in other words, a level from which most markets tend to bounce or indeed tend to hold. And then when they form this particular hammer-shaped candle bar pattern, that shows an increased probability of a potential reversal, a reversal pattern, and a potential move higher, as you can see right there. Now, again, look what it says. The official explanation of the hammer pattern means that we need to see further strength to confirm this bullish reversal pattern. But again, just to recap what it also means there was some selling pressure followed by buyers becoming interested again. So if we just go back to that chart that we just showed you here, okay, so this is what's been happening here. Price of Bitcoin dropped. They've hit a key support level, okay, so that's check. It's just 2 ticks so far. We've hit a key support level. We already know we've hit the 200 moving average, that green line I just showed you before. And we've hit the 55 weekly support moving average as well. We have formed this hammer candlestick pattern, okay? Now, to confirm that we're actually going to move higher and start this rally, we do need to see, as I mentioned in a previous video, we need to see some follow through. We need to see some buying pressure and move higher, and I actually need to see it above 10,500 ideally to confirm that actually this is a reversal pattern and we're going to go higher. So again, from a technical analysis, from a chart analysis point of view, this pattern that's forming right now on Bitcoin that you see here is bullish. A hammer candlestick pattern on support, and all we need to see some now is some confirmation and follow through. Now, just to mention one more time, in order for our bullish picture to remain valid, buyers must protect these lows that we formed last week. In other words, the lows that we formed last week, just under 6,000, they need to hold. If they don't hold, and if we see prices drop and close below those levels, which I think is unlikely, I don't expect it, but if it does, then that will potentially change the picture, which of course then I will comment about it in the future. And guys, I just want to say a huge thank you for your great comments on these videos. Thank you very much for posting your comments and keep them coming. I do read them and I do try to respond to as many as I can. But again, I apologize if I can't get around to answering all of them. But again, thank you very much indeed. And guys, if this video has been of help to you and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and please remember to subscribe to our channel as well.